Hey there guys, it's Tina and I am back, and for this video I wanted to do something fun. So I mentioned that I wanted to do like a collection series where I went through my collection and showed you various parts of my collection, and this time around I wanted to go ahead and share with you all the products that I have from various indie brands. Oh my god, okay, so I have fallen down the indie brand rabbit hole. There are so many great brands out there that make beautiful eyeshadow palettes. They make great highlighters, lip products, and it just amazes me that some of these brands are so small. Literally, there may be a duo that is creating all these great products. Sydney Grace, for instance, they're two sisters that created this brand, and they do such great palettes and eyeshadows and great products. They have lip creams and liquid eyeshadows, and the formulations are spectacular. The products are great. They have great customer service. It just amazes me, and I want to continue to support these brands, and I want to watch them grow and bloom and blossom into great brands that all of us can enjoy. And some of those brands we've seen really blow up, so much so that they're now offered at Sephora and in Ulta stores. So that's always an exciting thing to see for these smaller brands, and I think they're the most innovative that we can find in the market these days. Like, they come up with the duochromes, the multichromes, the shimmers, the glimmers, like these bomb formulations that, listen, I love color, I love a good texture, so I am so excited to share my collection with you guys. So I'm gonna stop yapping so we can just dive into this and you can see all the glory that is my indie makeup brand collection. So let's just jump into it. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and start out with the top drawer that you see here. I will leave the link to this drawer set down below. I found this at IKEA and I really like these drawers because my palettes can stand up straight for the most part and still have a lot of room because the drawers are extremely deep. And this is the back of the drawer, so it pulls all the way out, so there's nothing hidden back here that I can't see. I have full access to all the palettes in my drawer, all the products I can see once I pull the drawer out, and they are a soft close. Boom. So I really love this drawer set. So we'll go through, because I don't really have my palettes organized by brands. I just have them lined up based on fit. So however they fit best in the drawers is how I will organize them. So we'll just go through and pick out the different brands that are indeed indie brands. So starting off in the back, we have the Queen of Hearts palette from Colored Rain. That's what this guy looks like. This is one of their most popular palettes, if not the most popular palette. It's the one that really put them on the map. Everybody went crazy about this. This was a holiday palette. It was released as limited edition. There were limited quantities. It sold out. Everyone was so excited about it that it actually came back as a permanent product, so you can probably still pick this up on their site. And here's a swatch of some of the shades. And this palette right now is a couple of years old in my collection, but the quality, as you can see, is still there. I'm about to go through a whole lot of makeup wipes. So next up we have the Gemini palette from Melt Cosmetics. And this one was a pretty popular palette as well because it has these greens, these mustardy browns. It was a popular one, and I think it's now permanent with Melt Cosmetics. And it's also available at Sephora online and in store. With this, the formula is decent, but it's not the best Melt Cosmetics formula that they have. Then we have the Smoke Sessions palette. I was actually against getting this, I know, but I ended up getting it when it was on sale. So judge me kindly. You guys are getting a fresh look at this because I haven't even swatched this as yet. This is the one that was marijuana inspired, and I think this one a lot more people enjoyed over the Gemini palette because it had more shimmers, and the shimmers were a little bit better as far as texture goes. Now that I'm looking at these swatches, some of these shades look like they're redone in the Muerte palette. But that's it, that's the Smoke Sessions palette. Alright, let's go through and see what else we have. Here we have a Dose of Colors palette. This is the Friendcation palette. This was the collaboration between Dose of Colors and Desi and Katie. I also got this on sale, which is why it looks pretty untouched. Do you see why I can't be buying more makeup? I have all this makeup that hasn't been touched yet. No wonder this was on sale. Look at the mess. This is complete and utter trash. The shimmers are pretty. You do have to kind of work with them with a sticky primer or a damp brush or use your finger. But look at these mattes. What the hell is this? No wonder you're on sale. Trash. Now I have a question for you guys. Is Flirt an indie brand? I don't know if they still exist. I'm gonna actually look it up really quick. But I grabbed this palette at a cosmetics company store. I saw this palette and they have some singles as well. I'll probably just show you the singles, but I need to see if this is an actual indie brand. Well, it seems like this is the brand that didn't quite make it because it says that they're no longer in business. So Flirt didn't make it. Didn't they do something with Amber Rose? The colors are really nice. I will say the formulation has that dense silicone texture, but they no longer exist. Here are the 3 duos that I'd gotten from them as well, which I thought were really pretty. So this guy had like a gold and bronze and then a copper. These were really pretty and the texture is really nice. This one, I mean, come on. It's a purple and a silver. And then this one was another neutral one with a bronze and like a peach. Really beautiful, so sorry Flirt. Alright, let's see who else we have here. We have Persona Cosmetics. This is the Identity palette. One that I really enjoyed. It's a beautiful neutral palette. It's a solid palette if you're just looking for very subtle neutrals. And these are more of a satin finish. They're not really metallic, but they have a high shine. Really pretty. Is Jouer considered indie? I don't think so. So we're gonna skip over them and keep it going. What about KKW? Nope, not indie either. Okay, great. Now we have my 2 palettes from Lime Crime. If you watch my latest haul video, see that I picked up the most recent Immortalis palette, which has like the cool tone grays. I wasn't feeling quite great about that palette, so I returned it. So yeah, I only have these 2, which I actually do like the formula. Lime Crime I just can't vibe with them. I'm still on the fence with how I feel about them, but I can't pretend that they don't have a pretty decent formula. And these Venus palettes, the original 2, are pretty nice palettes for sure. The textures of the eyeshadows are nice. They build up beautifully. I can't complain about the formulation. I just don't know if I like the ethics of the founder. So this one was Venus 2. The original Venus palette is a beautiful one as well. It's a really simple coral palette. And the texture, again, pretty nice for these shadows. This one's a little bit ruddy, but yeah, you get the idea. Then here we have the Impulsive palette from Melt Cosmetics. I love this palette. I just don't like the structure of it, because it's just a mess to keep clean and then to keep track of these little plastic dividers. But I love the texture of these. I can't swatch every palette, guys, because I'm just gonna run out of time, and I don't think you guys have time to see every single palette swatched. So I'll just swatch a couple of key shades from each palette so you can see. I think this palette is one of my favorites for 2019. And I already did like a couple of videos with this, and I did a haul video, so you can see that if you're interested. And then over here I have a Sauce Box palette. This is the Art Nouveau palette. It has just 4 shades, really beautiful shades. These shades are beautiful. I haven't had a chance to use this palette, but look how gorgeous that is. Then we have the Sugar Pill Fun Size Mini Color palette. I talked mess about this palette and said I wasn't gonna get it, and then somebody gifted it to me and I was like, I don't mind it, but I think I still prefer, I forget what brand it is, but their Pastel Neon palette just has a little bit more punch to it than this. I mean, these are okay, they're just not my favorite. And as you can see, these don't swatch well, but I mean, they perform okay on the eyes. Then we have, let's see, the Alamar palette. This was a palette from BoxyCharm, but Alamar itself is of course a standalone indie brand. And I think they've released an additional palette since this palette, but this was a beautiful palette. And I think the owner or founder of Alamar works for BoxyCharm. So that's why she had her palette in a BoxyCharm box. And since then she's done, I believe she's done brushes. And this is a pretty decent palette. As you can see, the swatches are really gorgeous. The shades are beautiful. Look at that shine. Oh my god. So this one is a good one. Really pretty. Then we have Juvia's Place. Now I have a full swatch video for Juvia's Place, so I'm not even gonna get into all my Juvia's Place palettes. There are tons of palettes to be seen here. So this is the original Nubian palette, which is the all neutral palette. And here are a few of the shades swatched. It's a gorgeous neutral palette, but like I said, I have a full video, so I will link it over there. And I also have a discount code now with Juvia's Place, an affiliate code. It's Fancy Face, and you can get 10% off your order. All right, I think that's good. We can move on to the second drawer. And this drawer has bigger palettes. So this one is deeper than the top drawer. So we have some nice size palettes in this drawer. And from the back, let's see what we have. Oh, one of my favorite indie brands, Sydney Grace. This is the Autumn's Rain palette. And this one is gorgeous. It has beautiful shimmers and beautiful mattes. Sydney Grace does beautiful shades. They are definitely underrated. I think if they organize their website a little bit better, I think they'd get more traffic. And if they really push their products, but they have great products, great quality single eyeshadows. And it's two sisters that run this business. And Heather is one of the sisters, and she's so sweet. She's a sweetheart. So Autumn's Rain, I love this palette. Then we have the Christmas palette from Give Me Glow. This is Christmas Morning. And oh my god, this is beautiful. And they're actually doing a re-release with this palette for the holidays. So if you didn't get this palette last year, you may luck out and be able to grab it this year. But look at those foiled shades. They're so gorgeous, and the mattes are so creamy and pigmented. Loving it! Then we have another Sauce Box palette. This is the Etude palette, which is just a all matte neutral palette. And these are just staple everyday neutral mattes. A little bit ashy, but you know, it's okay, it's fine. Here we have Violet Voss. I don't think this is indie, but here's the neon palette that I was talking about that I prefer over the Sugar Pill palette. Did a video on this, and then you also have the Shimmery Rainbow. I don't think these are indie though. I might be wrong, but I'm gonna put that right there. Oh, here's some fun ones. So Ace Beauté, this is their Oceanic palette. And I've used this in a couple of videos now because I really love the colors in this, and I love the texture. I love the finishes. I think these are just really beautiful shades to work with. The shimmers are really gorgeous. The mattes are nice and pigmented. I mean, look at this green. If you're into blues and greens, this palette is gonna blow your mind. The shimmers work great. The mattes, look at that. Perfect. This blue, shut your face. I cannot, like, these eyeshadows. Ace Beauté makes some great eyeshadows for real. Then we have Menagerie Cosmetics. So Menagerie Cosmetics used to be Makeup Monsters. They rebranded to Menagerie Cosmetics, and since then they've been involved in a lot of animal charities. So this palette is the Whale Song palette, and it's for protecting the whales. So another beautiful oceanic, like, green and blue palette. This is another brand that has beautiful shimmers and mattes, and you just can't go wrong with them. This Whale Song palette was on pre-order, And it actually came through pretty quickly. I didn't expect to get it as quickly as I did. And I mean, look at this. That's a beautiful matte. They're a little soft, so you have to be careful not to pick up too much. But this is another beautiful green blue palette. So if you're looking for an option, I think that, wow, that blue, oh my god, this palette is sexy as well. Let's see what this light blue does. Shut up. Oh my god, look at this. Menagerie. Yes. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Look, man, this is so pretty. Wow, wow. All right, that was gorgeous. They have another palette here, the Feral palette. This one is for wolves. Look at this design. It's so cute. And this one they actually redid because they had two neutrals here and they swapped the shades out. And we were able to get the new shades. If you bought the palette originally, which I did, and you got the neutrals here, people complained that there were just too many neutrals, and they listened and they gave us two new shades, and you were able to get the two new shades by just paying for shipping, and I think it was $3. And so I swapped out the old shades with the new ones. This one is also a beautiful color story. So Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson are not the first ones to swap out shades and re-release palettes. But yeah, they did it right by allowing you, if you ordered before, to get the new shades just for $3. And they also have these as singles on their website. So if you didn't want to get a full palette or you wanted to make your own palette, you could definitely do that as well. Then we have another Give Me Glow palette. This is the Juicy Olive. I know a lot of people were excited about this palette. You know what, everybody were getting into greens, and Give Me Glow was like, oh, you want greens? I'll give you greens. And that is exactly what they did. Now, look at my fingers, guys. I'm so stained with eyeshadow right now. This palette is just really beautiful. I thought the greens were just very similar. Am I swatching even the right shade? The greens look, yeah, they look so similar. Anyway, these are the shades from the Juicy Olive palette, which I absolutely love. Look at my fingertips, jeez. Now we have the Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette. This is an indie brand that was started by an influencer, and she's actually now available in store at Sephora. So you can grab this palette among her other palettes. I did not grab her other palettes because I got, I think, the Lemonade palette, and it just didn't work out well for me. But this original palette, which is the Latte palette, as I mentioned, was so good, or is so good, because it's still available. I think she discontinued the Lemonade one because it just didn't work out. But look at these shades, right? Simple, everyday neutral palette with a little pop of purple and blue. Very smooth colors, very wearable, very beautiful to blend out. Really like this palette as well. Then in the front here, I have this Orb of Light palette from Black Moon Cosmetics, I believe. This is now available at Ulta, so you can check this out in store, and that's where I got it. This palette was so anticipated, and then when it was released, people were like, what the hell is that? Because it's an all matte palette. Well, no, I think one shade maybe, I don't know. These mattes have like a little bit of a shimmer to them. They have a little bit of a satin texture to them, so they blend out well and a little bit easier than like a typical dry matte. And it's underwhelming a little bit. I like the color story, but it's not like so great, and it's very pricey. It was a cute concept, but it just failed a little bit for me. Then we have, let's see, back here I have two palettes from Strobe Cosmetics. They have also rebranded, and now they're called Shroud Cosmetics. I don't know why you would go from Strobe to Shroud. It made no sense to me, but that is not for me to say. So this is the Creepy Cute palette. I don't know if they're gonna rebrand these palettes under the new name and give it like new packaging with the new logo and everything, or if they're gonna discontinue it. I know right now, when I checked, they were still available. So this is a beautiful pastel palette with a couple of like neon-y looking shades and a black. I know people were wondering why there's a black, but you know, whatever. It's supposed to be creepy cute, so the black is the creepy part. Don't ask me no questions. Then we have the Divinity palette. This one has a gorgeous purple in it. Like, look at this purple, right? What I like about indie brands is that they're not afraid to do color or interesting color stories. Like, this doesn't even make any sense for these colors to be together, but they still put them all together to make a palette. And you're just like, all right, it works, I'll run with it. And I don't necessarily buy palettes for the color stories to work together. I like to mix and match. So I don't have a problem like mixing this palette with other palettes in my collection. But this is the Divinity palette. Then here we have my newest palette. This is the Killer Purr palette, again from Menagerie Cosmetics. Another beautiful color story. It's very simple, like a safari theme, a lot of mattes, beautiful shimmers, and let's dig in. These colors just scream to me, and the formula, oh my god. Look at these metallics though. I need you to see these metallics. Oh, these are so good. These are so good. Oh my god. Then we have the Celestial Thunder palette from Dominique Cosmetics. Again, this is from a BoxyCharm, and this is an abbreviated 8-pan palette. She has a Celestial Storm palette that you can get at Sephora or on her website. And these are 8 of the shades from that palette, which is a 12-pan palette. So if you wanted to get all of the shades, you can get them, again, in the larger palette. Oh my god, I am dying from swatching, and I don't know if I'm gonna have the energy to swatch all of these. So I have Makeup Addiction palettes. So this is the Meadow palette. Let's just rub some shades on our fingers really quick. So here you have a couple of the shades so you can get an idea of the formulation. So again, the Meadow palette is here. Let's just grab the mattes so you can kind of see them. That shimmer is gorgeous. That matte is so messy. But you can get an idea of the shades, right? I don't have to get too crazy with these. They're really pretty. Then this is the Vintage palette. So these shades, oh, that one's a little dry, but these shades are gorgeous as well. Oh, this orange is spectacular. Hold up, hold on. I want to see this orange. Oh, sexy. This is the dry one that has glitter in it. Okay, these two mattes feel ultra creamy, but then this one is a little bit dry. So that is the Vintage palette. Then we have the Smoke Out palette. This one has shimmery shades and just a couple of mattes, but look at this blue. Stunning. I want to see that blue. Oh my god. So good. That's like a green brown. Nice. That's like a smoky, like, what would you call that? A gunmetal? All right, now come through. Let's see this matte. So far, I don't love their mattes. The mattes don't feel the best. See this little satin type shade. All right, that works. And then this beige. That actually feels better. Oh, let me try this green. Hold on. Oh, this is a good palette. Hold up now. This is a good palette. Look. Okay, love that palette. So that one, the Smoke Out palette. Sexy! Alright, let's move on to the Ace Beauté palette. So this came in a set of 4 palettes. So this is the Classical Paradise palette. I am definitely not swatching all of these. Nope. These are some fun shades though, right? So here we have some of the shimmers. And let's try some of the mattes. Those are actually pretty nice mattes, right? That's actually pretty nice. Oh, look at that yellow. Oh, and it blends out nicely too. Oh, come through, Ace Beauté. Then we have Slice of Paradise. This one has like bright, bold colors, mostly mattes. All right, let's see what this one has in store for us. Oh, that's pretty. Let's try these blues. Yes, Ace Beauté. Let's try this yellow too. Let's see how, oh, that's good. Yellow's always tend to be a little choppy, a little sheer, but these yellows are looking good. Try this green. Oh, no. That green is so good. Excuse me. Okay, what is this? Okay, that's a little, that's a little powdery, but look at these colors. Nice. Here's an up close of the shades, right? Those are nice. Now we have Paradise Fallen, which is the purple palette. I think people went crazy over this one because people were trying to get just an all purple palette after the Norvina palette from ABH, and this one just satisfied them for exactly what they were looking for. So let's see what these purples have in store for us. Oh, that's a good inky color, right? There's a silver in here as well. Alright, let's see these mattes, how these mattes feel. These are more cool tone mattes, so there's like grays and stuff. Yo, this is actually pretty nice as well. So this is a good purple palette in case you were looking for one. And then last in the set we have Blossom Passion, which is the pinky palette. Alright, let's see what's going on here. That's nice. If you're into pinks, this might, oh, look at that neon one. This might be a good palette for you guys to try out. That's nice. Even the mattes, let's see this red. Oh, that's like a cherry red. Let's see this blood red. Oh yeah, come on now, give it to me. These are nice, come on. Like, I know these formulations are good, but just swatching them and showing you guys, whoo, I'm getting tingly. Child, I'm getting the spirit of indie. So, okay, that's it for this drawer. Whoo, do you see how many makeup wipes I have? Oh my god, it's a mess. All right, let's go ahead into the next drawer. So in this drawer, we have a ton of indie brands. Whew, I don't know how many I can swatch, guys. So we have Juvia's Place palettes. So we have the Warrior 3. This is a beautiful palette. Let's just swatch a couple of shades and move on because I can't. Oh my god, I'm so tired of swatching. So Juvia's Place has a nice formula. It is not as good as some of the other indie brands that are pricier. These are really inexpensive, so it's a good option if you just want to try out colorful shades but you don't want to commit to a higher price point. So this is the Warrior 3 palette, and we have the Warrior palette. This is a beautiful neutral palette. This reminds me of the Urban Decay Honey palette. So if you wanted a cheaper alternative for these honey shades, then this one is a nice one to try out. Again, not as buttery or creamy, but the shimmers are excellent. The mattes aren't necessarily as rich as other indie brands, but good price point to try out some colorful palettes. This one is the Warrior 2 palette, an all matte palette. Juvia's Place has not really done like an all matte neutral palette. So this one was an interesting addition to their lineup. People were surprised that they did such a neutral palette because they're used to seeing very colorful palettes from them. But I think it was a nice addition to their entire collection to have just an all matte neutral palette. Now I'm just going to show you the color schemes for most of them. So this is the Nomad palette. This is the Nubian 3 Coral palette. Actually, let me swatch this one because I feel like this color story is a good one for you if you want a simple palette, really inexpensive, has really beautiful coral shades, but yet it has like a silver and a gray and a gunmetal shade. So this one I think is a pretty nice one, a good way to sample Juvia's Place as well because it has decent mattes and like really beautiful shimmers. And you can wear this for very simple, easy looks. Then we have the Saharan palette. This one's another beautiful one. I think this can make simple looks as well. Here we have the Zulu palette. This one, let's swatch a couple of these. So this blue is astounding. This green, gorgeous. There's like a shimmery, like a peach. Here are a couple of the mattes. this. This one is a good one if you want to try a more colorful palette, indeed. Then we have the Masquerade palette, which is actually one of my favorites from them. This one was available in a very large size, and I had the large size and I was just like, I can't do it. Like, look at that blue. I needed to get this in a smaller, more compact size because I don't like to have super huge palettes in my collection. But this one is just really beautiful. It has colorful shades as well as neutrals. It's just gorgeous all around. Then we have this palette here from Colored Rain. This was the primary color palette. So these were available as singles. Now they have it in a palette form, but it was all mattes. And these, I think, are the last eyeshadows I bought from Colored Rain because they're beautiful, they're pigmented. Okay, they're applying to damp skin right now, so they're gonna look a little bit wonky, but they're a drier texture, like a drier formula, because they wanted to make them really pigmented. But as you could see from other palettes that I've swatched, you can do pigmented bright shades that are matte without them being just dry and feeling textured. So I didn't fall in love with these. They're beautiful colors, don't get me wrong, but the texture of them, they just, you can feel the granules in them, like you can feel the pigment. So it's just not the most alluring texture to work with. We have another Menagerie Cosmetics palette. This was when they were makeup monsters. This is the Dragon Child palette. Oh no! Oh my god, hold up. Casualty. We have a broken shadow here. Oh crap. Oh no. Okay, so I lost a chunk of eyeshadow there, but let's see what we got going on. That shimmer is gorgeous. Let's look at this blue. Let's see the one that actually broke, which is the deep gray shade. Like, these mattes don't feel textured like the Colored Rain one, so that's what I mean by some of these shades from other brands are just smoother than Colored Rain. But those are pretty too, right? Love, love, love these. All right, let's look at Give Me Glow Cosmetics. This is the Grunge palette. So beautiful. These shadows, oh my god. Now you guys are probably gonna understand why I love Give Me Glow so much. Like, look at these shimmers, so gorgeous. And then the mattes, like, this is on damp skin right now and they're still picking up beautifully. I love this palette. I mean, look at that black. The red one is probably the only one that feels kind of chunky and gritty, but look at these. Nice, right? So that is the Grunge palette. What else do we have here? Oh, the Summer Vibes palette. So this one has beautiful, colorful shades, you know, for summer. And these shimmers, when I tell you, these feel like butter. They're so silky. They're so pigmented. They're gonna look even crazier on the back of my damp hand right now. Look at this. Look at this. Whoo! Girl! Let me put some of the mattes here so you can see the mattes in action as well. Right? They're so pretty. So that's the Summer Vibes palette. And then we have the Staple palette, which is another beautiful one. Let's get some of these mattes into play right now. So I'm going here instead because it helps. Okay, there we go. Shimmers are gorgeous. Mattes are fantastic. I mean, look at these shades, right? The Staple palette is a gorgeous palette with beautiful mattes, beautiful shimmers. I love this palette so much. Look at that. Like, come on. Stunning shades. I feel like we're gonna have to break this up, guys. So this is gonna be part one. So I have a few more palettes on this side that are indie brands as well. and then we'll get into those. So these are from Pinky Rose. We have another Ace Beauté palette. We have more from Juvia's Place. We have a Be Perfect Cosmetics palette. We have Kaleidos Cosmetics. There is more to see. So I'm going to do part 2. I'm going to cut it here because this video is going to be way too long. And I have a lot more to show you. And I actually want to do more swatches. So I don't want to leave you guys hanging. So let's break and stay tuned if you want to see part 2. Right? Was I right though? Was I right? Are you guys as blown away by the color stories, the textures, just the formulations of these products, the color stories in these palettes? Like, are you guys as like hype about these brands as I am? I'm really excited to share them with you guys so you guys can enjoy the products as much as I do. And most of these brands aren't even like overly priced. I know with indie brands, they tend to have a higher price point to cover their expenses, but still they're relatively affordable for brands that are really doing this on their own. So hopefully you guys will check out some of these brands. I will leave them down below linked. You know, we have Sydney Grace, one of my favorites. Give Me Glow Cosmetics, absolutely love them. Menagerie Cosmetics, excuse me, absolutely love their products as well. They're a little bit slow to the game since they did their rebranding. It's a little touch or go, but these brands just excite me and I want you guys to go ahead and check them out as well. I will also leave links to my Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat where you can follow me along. We're not PG over here, so if you are kids or you have kids, don't listen. If you're a little bit touchy, don't go over here because, you know, we get a little vulgar. But yeah, I'm really excited about this series, guys, and I'm gonna try to share more and more and more with you. I'm just trying to break it down and make sure that they're themed videos and they have a little bit of structure to them. It's not just look at my collection, you know. I want to give it a little bit more oomph, a little fancy twist, you know what I mean? So yeah, I will go ahead now and tap out. You can go ahead and thumbs up this video if you like it. I don't know, I haven't said that in a while. Like, favorites, share with your friends, all that good stuff. Subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. You know, why not? Because we have fun over here. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye, guys.